Good day, viewers. Good day. This is Wadidja here with another video. We're going to do a Outriders video. And again, this is Wadidja. As Wadidja say, what did you do? What did you think? And like I said, we're going to do another Outriders video. Today we're going to go ahead and level up the the Technomancer, excuse me. That was rotation to get them through the campaign. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, as you can see, we just got the Technomancer and the Devastator left to do. Um, I kind of like the way things went with the Pyromancer, leveling things up from World Tier 1, excuse me, up to, um, get through the campaign quicker and get to the expedition. We went through everything, I guess you could say I don't know. It's hard to ascribe a particular value set or a correct adjective to the point of what I did with the Trickster. But, we went through the campaign uh, and, with leveling progressively and taking on the enemies as the world tier continued to progress all the way through World 15 and leveling our gear appropriately to deal with all that. Um, in my opinion, it really didn't feel like it was worth the point, to be honest with you. Um, but just real quick here, as I click through and here, I'm going with a melee build for all my characters. That's the way I seem to like to play the game. But to be honest with you, I don't know how viable it truly is when it comes to dealing with three missions in the game, and that's dealing with this shaman and the Yagak, the final boss in the main campaign and the expeditions. I'd be honest with you, even when I had a firepower build, I still felt very ineffective. So I don't know what it really requires. Some type of combination of legendary set, legendary armor. I don't know what it is, but I'm just trying to get through. You know, have a sense of completion with what I've started here, which is leveling all four of the characters to level 50. And I've been getting some help with getting through Ida Storm. So hopefully one day I can play this game a little bit more straightforward in a way that I like to challenge myself with material in games. But uh, they don't really, people that can fly have got a lot of things going on that are causing issues with the game right now. But just real quick, I'll continue that point. I'm using the whole, the cold snap to freeze enemies in place. I'm using this fixing wave to heal myself and allies, and I'm using this ordnance interrupt here. Which reminds me, let me make sure that my options are closed on the. Okay, yeah, because we're going to run through this solo here. I mean, I guess I could open it up. It's not going to make very much of a big deal one way or the other, but consistently I've been doing it solo, so I'm going to maintain that consistency. Um, as far as the class skill trees here, I've put points in the system to um, enhance the melee. So we have anomaly power, we've got cooldown for our enhance the melee in our skills, bottom line, be able to use them more readily. So, we've got ordnance here, cooldown. We also too have cooldown for um, the fixing wave, as it's called here. Also to the melee skill increases our damage mitigation, by 40%. And then what we also too have is every time toxic is afflicted on enemies, vulnerable status is afflicted as well. And that marries well with this skill here, which your melee skill also inflicts toxic on every enemy hit. Increases your anomaly power by 6 here, so resistance, um, more anomaly power because that enhances your melee. Enemies believe 30% receive more, 20% more damage. Again, to help us take them out faster. More cooldown towards our gadget skills. Every time freeze is on the enemy, vulnerable status is inflicted as well. So um, I'm wondering if, because of the way we're using our melee and the fact that it has freeze on it, I'm not sure. In the freeze here has vulnerable status as well as 40%. It's 40% more effective. I'm wondering if it may not be necessary to have this. Like, it's already proccing vulnerable status off the cold. So, from our melee, and our melee is using toxic. But then again, the melee is one thing, which inflicts cold. Like I said, my other skills here, like with the cold snap, is cold. It's not toxic. So I think if I was using like blighted rounds and wasn't using that in combination with some type of cold round, maybe this might be necessary. But I think this probably is unnecessary. In which case we could probably put that other skill point someplace else. Um, we'll have 2 more skill points by the time we're done with all this to assign somewhere. So I'm still evaluating where that would be most effective. Probably perhaps here, increasing the toxic ability, like 30% longer, 20% more damage. So yeah, I would probably say here and here might be a good way to go with that. Um, you know, uh, I don't believe at the moment we have any resistance piercing going on. Um, so, resistance piercing is very helpful too. So, it's kind of debatable. The resistance piercing definitely comes in handy because enemies constantly are building up resistance to what you're doing. Some enemies come right out the box. As soon as they spawn, they have resistance. So adding some resistance piercing in would be helpful. And like I said, I think just evaluating this with you all here, I believe that this is probably not that necessary for this particular build because of the fact that our toxic damage is going to be coming through from our melee. We don't have toxic on our weapon here. We're not using blighted rounds as well. So I think what I'm going to do is put this in resistance piercing. Um, I mean, because like I said, it's really kind of disgusting how the enemies are just always building up resistance against what you're doing. It's actually rather annoying, to be quite honest with you. It seems almost cheap how every fucking enemy, excuse my French, just constantly, has resistance pierce, resistance pierce, resistance pierce, I mean, like, it's bizarre. You know what I mean? In my opinion, just how much so um, the game is constantly throwing the enemies in a state of resistance to what you're doing. I mean, it's I so um, I think what we need to do. Uh, let's see. Wait a minute. So we do this. Trying to figure out the most economical way to go about this. So, uh, okay, it's pretty much the same here. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's the resistance thing is such an annoyance, and to the point where I've really considered just leaving resistance piercing on one of my weapons. I'm kind of, I'll be honest with you, it's hard to know how to really build your character, um, because of the way, the game kind of keeps changing and keeps adjusting. I mean, one minute enemies are kind of hitting you one way, the next minute they're hitting you a different way. One minute you have, your armor's working, one minute it's not working, one minute mods are working, the next minute mods aren't working. Um, you don't, change your weapon over at the appropriate time before a cutscene. Now all of a sudden your mods aren't working. It's like, whoo, okay, what do we do? What do we do? I don't know. I don't know what how to go about what to do. It's kind of a trip, to say the least here. Um, so I'm just trying to roll with the punches as best I can in regard to this game, and that's kind of a literal sense in the fact that I'm using a melee build for my characters. I'm kind of probably proving the hard way that you can't do whatever you want to do in this game. That there is a meta in regard to how to play this game, and I still feel like that's going to constantly be developing until they stop fucking with the game and actually get the coding correct on things. Um, right now, like I said, they've got this thing going on with the damage mitigation being an issue where um, they're advising to take off all your gear and restart your console or your game and put everything back on to try to prevent the issue with the damage mitigation until they get enough data supposedly to know what the problem is, because we obviously are their beta testers for all this. And I don't know, maybe I guess they just don't play their own product. I don't know how to explain how it's so weird how they have they're disconnected to the reality that gamers face, and they're constantly, because we give a fuck about the game, because we care about the money that we spent and the enjoyment we're having or want to have with the game and our sense of completion. And they're leaving it to our own devices to figure out what's the problem with their game, because we're the ones reporting a problem, because according to them their data shows that there is no problem. What about the realistic experience of the situation? It's like, testing an engine in the lab, for a car, and it's like, well, our data shows that, there's no engine failure, but it's like all the people driving the car are having engine failure, and they're going, well, well, how much were you pressing on the gas? What kind of gas did you use? Where were you driving? What were the conditions? It's like, really? Really? You mean tell me that in all you can't do any real world testing with your own product to know the issues that people are having? I don't know. It just feels off. It just feels weird. It feels wrong in the way that we have to prove the issue behind the problems that the majority of the public, the populace, are having at one time, if not everybody is having at one point in time or another. And it's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. It's, I've talked to other programmers, I've talked to other developers, I've talked to people who are program analysts and people who are product owners, and they talk about this iterative process, and they're like, what they're doing doesn't make sense. Like nobody that I know of can explain how what's going on makes any sense. Now, they grant you they're not video game developers, the people I'm talking about, but they're application developers, they're software developers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, heck, my stepdad was a COBOL mainframe programmer. So it's like, I mean, I'm not ignorant to these circumstances, but at the same time, I just don't get it, But I just want to kind of get
Did you
through
see the
this
volcano?
circumstance. Like I said,
I thought it was gonna erupt. Never know with this place.
I feel kind of
Could be
obligated
some
with
demon
with my
belching up his
own
lunch.
set of determinants to just sort of get through this material as best I can. I don't even know what to really provide them, to
You
help them
get what
out
you
with their
needed from the tower,
situation.
right? Can
The
we go already?
the amount of data and the scenarios that they're asking for, I can barely even tell my ass from a hole in the ground half the time when shit's going on as to what's hitting me, what's not hitting me, how I got one shotted, whether my armor's not. Like, dude, I just know this much. I'm taking damage out the ass, and it doesn't add up in regard to just the shit I got going on. It don't make sense to me, So and then on top of that, they're looking for us to play the game a particular way. You know, um, they, I'm gonna be skipping cutscenes, by the way, because like I said, we've gone
Better
through
look
all this
around.
before.
What is this place anyway?
Dead Rock Pass, Marshal Cullen's turf. The only stop between Rifttown and Trenchtown. All the lumber to build the trenches on the front line comes from here. Used to be trees as far as you can see. Now it's mostly just mud.
Yeah, leave it to people to do that shit. Um, so I think I'm kind of going to
Anybody
try
out
to
there? Hello? Hey, is anyone there?
repeat,
Hey,
um,
Oh, thank
the scenarios that we went through as best as I can.
Well, elevator's stuck again. You wanna push your luck, soldier?
And you know,
Hmm.
like I said, it's
Sure.
part of my role playing. Similar to the point of how
Can't
I
afford another
have
day with no lumber. Marshal Cullen better do something.
each one of my characters. Wait a minute, I feel like I'm missing something. Wearing the same thing. Like I said, for me, they're sort
No
of
lumber.
like,
That means no barricades.
it's either the one character having a dream in a cryopod, or there's some kind of uh, experiment by the ECA on the character. I thought there was a way to get up to a roof or something on this board. Shit. Oh yeah, here it is. Um, giving, providing these alternate scenarios. I
Think
thought there
it's
was,
heading
yeah,
our
there
way?
it is.
God, I hope
Um,
Hmm.
as the reason why
Sure.
he has different abilities. Oh, there's one of those walkers, which is interesting how you never come across any of that while you're playing the main game. I'm guessing that's some kind of future expansion thing they may decide to want to do. I don't know. But I don't know if I really came up here last time and took a really good look to see what was going on. But yeah, there's those things that look like whales with skinny arms and legs are migrating. They said there's a lot to appreciate about the game. There really is. I mean, but the people can fly. The developers have kind of shot themselves in the foot with
That's sign.
the execution of the scenario. I mean, the latest update to um, the fix for the inventory wipe. I mean, I honestly do not agree with it. Their mentality was they didn't have enough time to finish or to properly implement it, where issues like Epic Gear having 3 mods I mean, level 3 mods, excuse me, in them, um, wouldn't happen, thereby creating an unfair imbalance within the system of the game with players. I mean, it's one thing to replace gear, but then it's another thing to create a complete imbalance in the system. I mean, I would have rather them given people more legendaries or more set. I mean, all kinds of things other than giving everybody these obscenely high god rolls for everything that was deleted out of their account. To give them, to then create some kind of issue where Epic Gear now has um uh uh Epic Gear has level 3 mods in it from jump, allowing players to put 2 level 3 mods in their gear. I mean, that is just not fucking cool. I mean, the advantage that these players are going to have is going to be obscene. And over what? A mistake that they've created, so they're doubling down on the mistake. Like I said, I've explained these things, to several people. My wife's a product owner for software. Dude, she's sitting there, she's bugging out. She's like, I can't believe that they've done this kind of an issue. I'm like, yes, exactly. Like, this is the kind of shit that they've done.
Trapped in the shit house. I better deal with the uglies.
I thought my scrapnel supplies more traps. I'm supposed to be able to throw more than one. Okay, there it is. It says 3. For a second there, I thought for sure it didn't say 3.
That's the last one. Hey, buddy, looks like it's safe to come. Come on, get out of there.
You out of your mind? I ain't leaving this here shithouse until the sun's all the way up.
I'm not waiting around here for the sun to come out.
Then please just turn on the camp generator. It'll light up the area.
Fine, I'll get the damn generator.
So yeah, it's I'm just beside myself as far as what's happened with this game. I mean, since playing the demo, I mean, I was very, 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 very delusional as to the circumstance. I mean, I've been a little jaded, you know what I'm saying? Based on various different situations that I've encountered with games, but to be honest with you, like, I mean, this is really putting me off to a point where, like, I can't allow myself to be suckered by these games anymore, man. I mean, it almost seems like, instead of going by the hype of a new game, it's a whole lot better for me as a gamer to just wait, for 6 months, maybe even a year before playing a game. I mean, why leverage off of the hype? I mean, I know for myself, like, I appreciate the subscribers I have, considering that, sure, it'd be great to be monetized. I'm not going to lie about that, but at the same time, I'm doing this to, preserve my gameplay, because I enjoy looking back at my gameplay and what I do. I found that to be a rather enjoyable thing, to be able to look back on things and be like, oh, wow, that's how I did that back then. This is what I did. I don't have melee. What the hell? Oh, man, I must have overlooked something in my build. I'm supposed to have melee damage and... shit. I think I took something off the wrong way. Messing around with stuff. I'm supposed to have 100% melee damage and a 50% cooldown reduction thing going on here, and I don't. And of course, I'm going through all this material at level 1, so it's like, World Tier 1, so it's like I'm not really seeing just how detrimental
That better be the last of them.
the lack of what I'm
See if that
supposed to
idiot
have
comes
going
out
on
of
for
his
the
hole
build
now.
really is. Crying out loud. I can't believe I overlooked that. My bad. I'm gonna have to take a look at things when we get back to the camp. Um, but yeah.
It's all clear. You can come on out.
And get chewed up by the next monster that finds me? Hell no! I'm staying right here.
Seriously? Suit yourself. I'm leaving.
So, but yeah, going through this at World Tier 1, what we've already done with all four of the characters getting a World Tier 10 the way we have, it looks like when I go back through after doing the expeditions and doing the historian, the bounties and the monster hunts, we get enough experience to get to World Tier 15. So like I said, it's interesting the way they've set things up. They don't make it worthwhile to actually um, play the game different, in the way that you would think on the outset would be more straightforward or more legit. Where okay, I'm going through the material in a way where I'm fighting enemies to um, raise up my world tier and fight everything as things increase and as things, the difficulty begins to scale, meet that particular so-called challenge. But, they still don't make it worthwhile for the point. They really don't. Yeah, I mean, the way I have things set up currently, it looks like, yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know here. So I think there's a mod that comes in a tier 3 mod which allows you to throw even more shrapnel grenades, or it splits the amount of shrapnel grenades you can have, something to that degree. Yeah, in order to get my melee in here the way I want to, I'm gonna have to do it like this here. Um, Damn, do I even have the melee mods that I need? 100%. Okay, yeah, we do. Okay. So it really doesn't matter. So we'll put that there. We'll put the 50% down here. And we'll just see how it goes. I mean, there we go. Ah, that makes more sense. All right. So yeah, and I was kind of jibber jabbering earlier where when I was showing my mods on my gear where I didn't really notice it, and for some odd reason when I was putting things together off camera, I didn't notice it either. My super bad there. So yeah, so like I said, we're going with this melee thing here with the cold snap and the fixing wave. And like I said, I'm the real test for this build is going to be when we get to the expeditions. By the way, that I'm going to try to run through this campaign. Like I said, if you want to see more of a legitimate run through with the campaign, you go refer to my Trickster campaign runs. Um, but to be honest with you, I'm just beside myself on the time that it takes to go through everything with each of your four characters to run through every single thing all over again. And I mean, I ideally want to do individual videos for each one of the missions and side missions and hunts and bounties. And I may decide to do it like I did the demo where I did these scripted runs where every other run I used a different class, reinforcing my element of role playing where they all wore the same thing and carried the same weapon. And I mean, that's what I'm kind of carrying over here with um, the way I have been playing things out. I mean, because my tactics don't really change, it's really more the abilities in respect to what they do in the class. I do keep those things in mind and change mods accordingly and what have you. I have been trying to keep this element going forward. Um, but like I said, like I don't know. Unless they get themselves together and sometime soon, I like by the time I finish my Devastator probably, um, I may just put this down for 6 months
I
to a
always
year.
pick the wrong damn day
Uh,
to try to stop snorting this shit.
this guy is hilarious.
Goddamn self-fulfilling. Well, thank fucking God! About time they sent an altered. How do they expect us to hold this godforsaken...
Not here for you.
Oh, shit, man. We could really use your help. We've lost contact with our logging camp in the valley. My workers could have all been chewed into bloody gristle by goddamn face eaters for all I know.
The hell are you snorting? It can't be approved of around here.
Approved? You kidding? They'll send us to the wreckage zone if we don't take this. It's the only thing that helps us forget we're starving. They say it causes cancer after a dozen years, but nobody fucking lives long enough to care.
Tell me about the logging camps. You sent anyone to check on them?
Of course I send people. I need that wood to fortify our trenches. Any delays cost goddamn lives! But my scouts never came back. Look, I know you're busy. You're a fucking altered. But could you find out what happened to them? I'll give you a cut of the action.
I'll help you this once, but don't get used to it.
Ah! Altered. Ah, scared the shit out of me. Forgot all about you.
Cullen, where exactly is this logging camp?
Take the elevator down to the main operation.
Try his radio.
Not answering.
But yeah, I decided to let that one play out because it's just so fucking hilarious. That guy, bro. It's interesting how they decided to take it there with some kind of off-world nose powder, bro. It's just absurd. Anyway, like I said,
Hey, Altered, you hear me? You gotta find out what the hell's going on out there. We need to get back to work.
like I said again, I'm hoping that one day I will go ahead and um, play the storyline out at World Tier 15 from start to finish. And so, playing it out where I'm leveling up to World Tier 15 to me, it pales by comparison to trying to rise to that particular aspect of a challenge.
Corrigan?
This Cullen guy just lost his business and doesn't even know it yet.
Corrigan will do a better job doing the lumber.
Why the hell is Corrigan taking over a logging camp?
I should have waited to use that. Still trying to figure out when the best time to do certain things. Yeah, I tell you, I mean, I enjoy the abilities of all these other characters, but man, I really miss teleporting. I mean, you're just able to negotiate, navigate through the environment in such a way that just is just very, 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 very fluent and helpful, especially in a way that these enemies like to spread out and fucking surround you every goddamn 2 seconds. I mean, even the animals, saying every single thing in the game just knows how to tactically surround you and immerse you in damage. And there's no such thing as friendly fire. I mean, now if they drop a grenade or if an environmental effect explodes, yeah, that seems to damage them, but their regular weapon fire, none of that hurts the other ones. I mean, it's just kind of a trip. It's like, really? Everybody can just shoot me all at once. Every enemy can just fuck me up all at once. It's just hilarious. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and run through this here. And like I said, the real challenge is going to be when we get to the expeditions to see how well this really holds up.
With us? You messing with Corrigan?
I mean, I think it's going to be effective. Like I said, who knows? It might even be good against the Yagok bastard. Like I said, it's the anomaly spears that's going to be the issue when it comes to the shaman and Yagok. I mean, in my opinion, because we're dealing with this cold snap, you know what I mean? When Yagot spawns his goons to try to mess with you, I believe that's going to even hold them up in a way where what we're doing could take them out. But it seems like unless you want to go through it the hard way, you need a team that can effectively hold down all the different nodes. And until they expire, and basically debuff Yagok and burn them in one big batch. I mean, that's what it seems like.
Okay, come on, let's go. We getting new masters again?
New masters.
But yeah, like I said, we're trying to save on time because I mean there's cutscene after cutscene after cutscene, dialogue after dialogue after dialogue, and like I said, I've gone through this already several times, and the main goal is to try to get through this campaign here as quickly as possible. And like I said, I honestly will at least go through all this one more time, or rather a fifth time, um, to preserve the memory of it. Going through each and every mission at World Tier 15 from start to finish, including the prologue, or at least the end of the prologue, rather. Um, so, you know, it all be there basically is what I'm trying to say. It's gonna be all good. It's just kind of just a means to an end here with all this. Um, like I said, I really wish that they made it more worthwhile to actually go through the material, for lack of better words, legitimately, rather than cheese it in this way to make it seem pointless. But like I said, because of all the issues the game's had, I just am not in the mood for certain bullshit. Number one, taking longer than I need to get through it. Um, so. But yeah, what I'm gonna do too is use my pyromancer or my trickster to level up the gear that we get, because it just seems like it's more cost effective to do it that way. Um, and more timely, because once you get leveled up, you earn way more currency and everything, and you get way more materials from breaking down equipment. And one thing that I've noticed that's been very consistent, um, in is not having enough shards for the things you want to level up. That's been a definite issue. And especially when, like, the reason why, like, when it came to like my selection of which weapon I wanted or what I wanted to choose, I went ahead with shards that I need from the equipment that I'm getting. Like, unless I don't have the mod, or unless I'm looking for some particular style or look, I mean, I'm just going to choose things based off of what shards that I need. To me, it makes more sense to have a melee build with the way things come at you in this game. But like I said, it's weird how they make it so ineffective when it comes to Yaggoth and the Shaman. It's like, hold on now. I can use melee to destroy the spheres, and of course get fucked up because all kinds of damage happens when you destroy the spheres and there's other things hitting you. And the melee is leveled up or is increased based on my anomaly ability, but because I'm now fighting some kind of anomaly sphere, it's not working. Like, my abilities against the sphere other than melee don't work, but yet melee, which scales off of anomaly power, works. This is they're purposely, it's a purposeful handicap to make everything that you did, 97% of everything you did and all the effort that you made towards your build, ineffective if you didn't have a firepower build. And so basically, it's just silly. It's just silly to me. So I pray that they decide to stop being, you know, whatever you want to call it, sadist. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Bad example of trying to make something difficult. I don't know how you want to interpret what they're doing, but it's just not cool, man, with the way they got things set up in that mission. Mr. Freeze is his name. Behind every kill. Where's this enemy at?
Zadie, about this Corrigan, what can I expect?
He's the Grand Marshal of Trenchtown and the quarry out east. If we want to reach the forest, we need to go through him.
About that forest. You know my unit was in there. Half of them were vomiting up blacks.
Like I said, we're gonna rock and roll, get through this.
Damn missiles! Mind if I join?
No, Yakin. I need you here guarding the trucks.
Right, because an old drunk is really gonna scare a bunch of gun-toting truck thieves away.
Please, won't anyone help me?
Later, old man.
I realized I'm not even noticing bombs and missiles going off anymore.
I wonder exactly how much time you cut out by skipping the cinematics.
And? You want it back or something?
Back in the day, it was the heart of our industry. Right up until the anomaly fried all our tech. Then that engine exploded in our faces and irradiated the area for good measure. It was mayhem. I dragged those people out of there. I saved them. I created this town.
Last time through here, I thought this place already smelled about as bad as it.
Yeah, as much as I like the other characters, like I said, I'll be able to make a better assessment once I get the Devastator up to level 50. I mean, you know, I feel like at various times, because I do enjoy the characters, that the different characters I probably will go back to playing each one of them, but I feel like 9 out of 10 at the moment, I stress this, I'll probably wind up going with the Trickster at the end of the day. Just because of the teleportation is an aspect that I really do enjoy in video games. That, to be honest with you, what's sad is that a lot of times certain games don't even make it viable to use, which is sad, or they have these messed up issues with traversals where, you know, the character is not able to properly do what's there to be done, which is teleport. You know, again, even with this game, you know, the teleportation has had issues where, you know, it's constantly, it wants to say you can't teleport behind a target. You do teleport, but then go anywhere. Like I said, it's for some odd reason, games, though they like to implement this teleportation thing, or you know, ability to basically negate traversals in the game, you'll have issues. Like, for example, in Mass Effect, they had a Vanguard character where, you know, you could basically catapult yourself at the enemy with tremendous force, and you know, you would have issues with it.
Seems this
You know,
zone hasn't
where
been entirely
you
abandoned.
know you wouldn't go anywhere, or you go through walls that you shouldn't be going through. You know, you just have issues with the ability. Um, you know, I think DCUO with its quantum ability, if my experiences are correct, was the most friendly with it. But at the same time, because of the way they set the difficulty up for the game, you really couldn't use the ability the way you wanted to. You know, I mean, you know, it because I wanted to create a quantum Superman, not Superman, but super spaceman, and not, but yeah, space in the wording, not spaceman, but a Superman basically with a quantum ability to teleport. Um, you know, and it didn't, you know, it was just very difficult to set that character up as a DPS. It just sort of paled by comparison to other DPS builds. I mean, DCUO kind of, it took me months to basically face the reality with that and realize, okay, I need to go as an Earth tank, create a Superman, period. Don't worry about the quantum aspect. You know, maybe one day if they ever decide to stop fucking with you with the balancing, perhaps I could try to create what I wanted. But, you know, in the time that I played it, I never saw that time where I could actually do what I ultimately wanted to do. I don't know, things may be different now. I haven't played DCO in years, even though I do keep up with my account and log in every so often. So maybe DC Universe Online has something where you can create a true damage loadout that holds its own well, and it's not and play the you know, and play effectively. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. One of these days I may revisit the point, but no, but nonetheless, though, I was able to create a very awesome and unique, in my opinion, Earth tank, which at the time people had never seen, and they were like, dude, you're the best Earth tank we've ever seen. But like I said, I created a super man, not Superman, but a Superman in regard to you know, the Earth abilities, and you know, didn't have no gems floating around me or no big hands clapping shit, you know.
What'd you do to her?
Nothing. Never asked to be any kind of dad. Last thing I wanted, anyway.
Jacob, wait. There's something else. I've seen her before.
What? Where?
I had a vision when I was in cryo.
Kurva. You two with this shit? Give me a break.
But it's funny how I kind of complain about having to redo shit that I've already redone, and I bought Returnal. I've only played it once for several hours, but you know, I'll go back to it again. It seems like it's one of those things you return to, like its namesake, when you feel up for dealing with the circumstance. I mean, it's weird how, you know, the reviews didn't come back well about the game. It's awkward in the manner that they create the difficulty that they do, because you know, it unexpectedly becomes difficult. You know, very, very difficult. You know, it's another one of these games similar to this here, where it lulls you into this false sense of confidence about what you're really capable to do. And then by the time you realize you're not capable to do whatever it is that they've put in front of you, like dealing with some particular boss, you know, you got to redo every fucking thing all over again for the if then and maybe that you'll accomplish it by the time you fucking get to it. And then on top of that, I got the bonus edition. I thought that I was going to get some sort of kind of outfits with it, but apparently that was only for the pre-order. I mean,
Corey,
you know, and it.
Seth is dead.
Impossible. You're lying.
I saw him. He's charcoal.
Ah! We've already mobilized to the front. Time you made good on our deal.
And what do I need to do? Search the records. I did search the records. What? I found Seth. Oh, dude, don't tell me I got some kind of a bug in the game. Oh, come on. Come on. Are you serious? Why does it still have this here? Why does it still have this here? Woo, boy. If it ain't one thing, it's another with this shit. Crying out loud. Dude. Is it because I collected the fucking thing too soon or some shit? Do not tell me I'm at a point where I can't progress in the game because of this shit. Wow. Well, let's just return to lobby and pray that this fucking rectifies itself. Dude, what the fuck? Man, this is just... Dude, honestly, if we come across a problem where we can't progress, I'm going to honestly put this down. I'm putting the fucking game down. I'm going to be done, bro. 6 months to a year from now, I'll come back. This is just ridiculous. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, I have found fucking Seth. What the fuck? Are you serious? Oh my god, dude. Wow. 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 I can't progress. I can't progress. So we're going to try to back up in time and see if backing up in time and redoing what we've just did will allow us to progress. My God. They really should have released this as a beta. They really should have released this as a beta. I mean, for them to just fuck with our goddamn ass, you know, dude, this is just wrong. This is just wrong. You know, I mean, dude, they would have gotten further if they made a Patreon or put out a petition for people to invest in the game. Do something like what Warframe did, Founders thing or some shit like that. You know, Bonafide, you know, Outrider or some shit. I don't know, man. But to release this as a finished product, to release this in a way where people, huh? Dude, to release this as a finished product is insidious. To have us pay the amount of money that we all did full price for this game and run across the problems that we fucking have, dude, this doesn't, dude, this is wrong. And what's sad is that younger generations don't know no different. They don't know what it was like when programmers really did put forth massive efforts, massive investments of time in testing before releasing a product, because they couldn't go back and give a hot fix. They couldn't go back and do an update. They couldn't. There was no such thing. And now with the you know, this iterative process of programming, or various different
How about you
marketing
give me information instead?
and tech
Bears
savvy
that Seth
terms
was
that they
hunting
have
another
for it, they
ultimate,
can
wasn't he?
basically, keep costs down supposedly, relatively, and produce material faster. But yet, and basically use the consumer as the test for their fucking products. I mean, man, I don't even know what to think, man. This is just fucking ridiculous, bro. If this shit doesn't advance, man, I guess, if you're watching, you might not want to pick up that which you're supposed to collect in front of Seth until the dialogue finishes. I don't even know if that's the problem, to be honest with you. I just know it ain't letting me fucking progress. I mean, twice before I've already completed all this, and twice before I did not have that fucking issue. I think there's supposed to be a little cutscene that happens where he has some kind of vision of Seth fighting for a split second, and I didn't notice that happen. That's my guess. Again, I'm guessing as to what the issue is or is not, because we do not really know. I really didn't need for that to happen today. I really didn't, bro. I've gone through enough with this game, man. I've gone through more than too much. And I paid for this. I paid to have this sadomasochistic form of enjoyment. I paid for it. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Some kind of writing.
I think what it is the untamed power is actually killing the enemies before my melee even reaches them. Because I'm sitting there going like, how is the enemy dying before my melee attack even hits them? And it's the untamed power, I think, that's coming into play. That is a very, very, very effective mod. I pray they don't nerf that shit too. I mean, no, really, bro. They just got a bad habit of going, oh, you like that? Oh, you enjoy that? Oh, that helps you? Oh, well, let's make sure we take that away from you. Warframe, be honest with you, Digital Extremes, they have a habit of doing shit like that too. Oh, you like that? You enjoy that? Oh, you're able to get some kind of advantage in playing the game like that? Oh, we need to take that from you. Oh, that goes against, we don't want you to enjoy it that much. Oh, no, 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 no. Can't have you doing that.
What the hell happened here?
Oh, fuck me. Jakob, Seth's dead.
What? How? He's never been defeated.
You see, we call him Moloch.
Jakob, there's another altered out here. Someone more powerful than Seth.
Well, that's just fucking awesome.
Okay, thank God we got past that. Thank God. Dude, honestly, honestly, I was really, 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 really not going to be happy if this did not progress. So, in case you run across this particular issue, make sure you allow the cinematic to play through when you get to the Seth situation because it does not seem to like I said, the other two times when I ran through it with the trickster and the um, pyromancer, I let the cinematic play out because I like the cinematic. I mean, that's basically the reason why. This time I went to try to fast forward it, and it just did not seem to like that particular point and would not progress. So, word to the wise, let that cinematic play out because if not, you're going to wind up not being able to progress in the game, or then the fix seems to be to re, you know, go back in time at least one step and in the storyline and just rerun it and then let the cinematic play out and then you should be okay. So yeah, that was not cool. That was really not cool. But where we are now, we are at level 30, which is good. Um, and we got our last two class points to put in. And again, because we're kind of going with this melee ability, feud with the shrapnel and our healing wave and our cold snap, I'm thinking that anomaly type situations would probably be best. I mean, perhaps freezing the enemies longer. I'm thinking, resistance piercing, things like that are going to be very key because we're kind of, hitting them with a lot of freeze and we're hitting them with the toxic that the melee is able to give too. Um, 20% more damage. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're able to get to any extra piercing in our skill tree. Um, our personal resistance might be a good thing. Freeze longer. Like I said, some of the, these last 2 points we might have to reassign when we get to the expeditions to know, you know, where we might need something at in regard to dealing with the difficulty that will be before us at that point in time. Um, so in the meantime, what we're going to do is just go ahead, I think, and put it into the anomaly power. And again, I don't think it's necessary to add this toxic vulnerability on the toxic because, like I said, we're at the moment we're only using toxic with our melee, and our melee inflicts freeze as well. So we have vulnerable coming in on the freeze, and we have increased effectiveness on the vulnerability by 40%. And this doesn't give us effectiveness, any extra effectiveness to vulnerability. It gives us vulnerability in regard to toxic damage. I think that's more useful if we're using toxin on our weapon or blighted rounds. So, like I said, we'll just go ahead and increase our anomaly damage here and see how that pans out, because that's going to increase our damage on our melee even further. So we're just going to rock with that for right now. Alright, let's go ahead and get the rest of this story campaign done so we can get to the main action. And plus too, like I said, when I go back and do the individual recordings at World Tier 15, because like I said, I'm going to go all the way back to the end of the prologue and work all the way forward and do my playthrough at World Tier 15. And I like the idea that I had in the demo where I alternated between each class for each run and presenting everything. So I might just do that again because, like I said, it kind of reinforces my role play with it, thinking that this is all just a dream ultimately, and he's still in a cryopod, or the ECA is doing some kind of like clone experiment or dreamscape experiment where some other altered is now projecting them into some potential future, in which ability and might actually help them win the war. Who knows? But I like the idea of running with the same look of the character and the same clothes and everything else. I may ultimately choose different weapons depending on how things get resolved with the game, and I may fine tune certain things or have certain alternate outfits. I'm not sure yet, but at the moment,
I could care less about her. I'm just helping an old friend.
You're altered. Why would you do anything for peons?
The peons and I are in this together.
All that power wasted on an idiot like you.
let me initiate these things. This is the hunt quest and the bounties real quick. Like I said, we've gone through all this before in the other two classes, and I will be preserving all this later.
May look like where monsters come to die, but it's
in individual gameplays.
warfare is based on deception. When
Shang Tsung, eh?
Sounds.
Okay. Like I said, we'll save all that for after we get to level 50 on the campaign. Oh darn, hold up for a second. I think we could actually raise the level of our gear. I don't think it's really pertinent because we're just running at level 1, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Actually, let me just level it up, because what's interesting, even though I am playing at level 1, the enemies.
Please, won't anyone
Shit, I'm
help
turned
me?
around. Why does this shit need to be this confusing? The enemies, I think, are.
Looks like some old.
Hang on, let me just check something real quick. Oh, the enemies are 2 levels below what we are. I mean, most likely there isn't going to be a problem trying to fight against what we're about to deal with here. But I'm sort of turned around on which way to go in this confusing bullshit. I'm trying to talk to you, old man. Here we go. This is the right way. I think I have enough for what we need to do to raise our gear up.
Wanna look good? Charging in the battle? It's too much.
Don't need to talk to you. I need the doctor. There we go. Alright, so level up. Oh, damn. I don't think we're going to have enough to level it all up. So we'll just level up what we can. And we will worry about the rest later. Like I said, we're going to import our gear over to probably our pyromancer or our trickster, whichever one has the materials to level up our gear. So I'm not that worried. I need to put some stuff over to my mule characters that I like. I'm not sure right now, but I've been debating about having like this sort of wood look as an option to some of my weapons. It's not bad, but I think I'm just probably wasting a lot of inventory space with the point. But there's a bolt action rifle that I really like the look of, and I've kind of got this little fashion thing going on where I like consistency to it all. So if one thing has some wood on it, I want the other weapons to kind of accent that particular point. But whatever. Okay, well, we leveled up what we could level up. Let's just go ahead and get this done. 9 out of 10 would probably be fine through the rest of the fucking game without leveling up anything. Like I said, I'm just not about dealing with certain issues or complications right now. So, trying to get her done.
I can't believe it. But one of them's got to slip past at some point, right?
I'm telling you.
Today, we shall see victory! A great new altered fights at our side. Together, we shall fuck them up!
easy. Mwah!
You still kissing that piece of junk, Coleman?
Hey, at least it's better than kissing the sergeant's ass.
Give me that. What is it anyway?
That's from the old world. Oh, you wouldn't understand. You can't even fucking read.
Sorry, Grandma. It's not a fucking library.
Hey! My grandma was a general.
Shut the fuck up, man. You didn't know your grandma.
Yeah! Do you see that?
Moloch.
A new altered. You've come to finish what Seth failed to do.
My fight's not with you.
Oh, it is now. You fight with them. That means you die with them.
Not today.
All this persistence. This world is crashing down. And what will be left without us?
Yeah, they should really do a Moloch backstory on this. Seth one would be good too.
That's how you thank a girl for saving your life?
I knew my fortune teller was gold. She saw exactly where you were buried.
I'm done. You said.
A deal's a deal. You're free to go.
Shit prophecies can be someone else's problem.
The assault. Tell me this pounding headache was worth it.
The news is good. Of course, it was a bloodbath. But while you were entertaining that abomination, we took back the front. Are you sure I can't entice you to stay?
But yeah, just wanted to kind of let some of that play out because it explains what's going on. Like, I didn't understand what the hell happened with Moloch and that bullshit when I first went through it. But, you know, apparently he kind of temporarily defeated Moloch, but he did that supernova and he got buried. You know, our main protagonist got buried under the rubble. And the fortune teller chick, you know, Jacob's stepdaughter, she was able to, he helped raise, bottom line. She was able to help figure out where he was in the wreckage. You know, Shauna, basically, is her name. This is the one who gets the visions.
The anomaly that killed my mom. I ripped through a hut in the middle of the night. Decided to spare me.
But yeah, this is the reason why I kind of went with my little role-playing thing.
These visions, how do you know they're real?
How do you know yours are real?
In regard to, you know, possibly the ECA, this, you know, group behind the government or faction group behind the you know, the colonization of the planet, and you know, you realize that they experimented on the altered and everything. So, you know, like I said, it's an interesting point to pursue with the role-playing thing, or either he's just dreaming it all in a crowd pod, who knows. But like I said, you know, to each their own. I'm sure people probably playing this without any kind of role-playing elements whatsoever. It's kind of a labor of love to kind of go about doing things the way I have been doing things, because you know, to have them all look the same, wear the same thing, you know, it's an interesting degree of farming that has to go into
This is where the
play with
minefield
that.
ends. Road from here goes through the quarry. It's just up ahead behind that wrecked excavator.
Most of which I actually did when during the demo. Hold up for a second here. Yeah, I probably not going to do this wood version thing. It's just taking up too much space in my inventories. Still not committed to not doing it yet, but I don't think it's worth it. Or if I do keep them, I'll probably keep maybe just one of each thing or something like that.
Look at the size of that thing. That's one of the quarry's old excavators? And I was here when it was being built. Took industrial printers 2 weeks to put the damn thing together. That beast would move mountains. Now look at it. What a tragedy.
Corrigan mentioned the quarry we're heading toward was overrun. I take it we're gonna need to tread carefully?
It's probably filled up with mutated freaks by this point. We've been fighting over that goddamn hole in the ground since I can remember. But last time the insurgents took it back, Corrigan decided it wasn't worth any more of our time. We blasted the place and filled the road with mines to protect our flank.
The road's clear. What next?
That's our way into the quarry. You need to find a way to open the gate.
Will do. Some writing here.
Yeah, I thought you could run around to get that crate. You actually got to shoot these tanks in order to get to this crate here. There's no way through that door. You know, was the other thing too with this to keep in mind, like even though I'm going through this in a story mode, like when you get to the expeditions and you actually can't really lower your difficulty once until you complete everything technically. I mean, you can grind it out at a lower tier, but the scaling sucks in this game. It's kind of like they almost shoot you in the foot unless they fixed it. But the point is you have to take on the enemies at whatever highest tier you're at in order to progress, and then on top of that you have to, once you get to a certain point, you can only make, you know, you make gold, bronze, silver, or gold. You know, you can in the beginning just, you know, all you need is bronze to progress, but then as you get higher in the tier level, you can only make silver in order to progress, and then you get to your final stage to get to level 50, you got to make gold in order to progress. So, you know, the element of difficulty and the fact that you're not fighting any new enemies than what you deal with in the story campaign, to me it's like it really makes, you know, going through the campaign at a difficult level yet again worthless. You know, you don't get drops the way you would think you would as far as like legendary gear, fighting enemies, or opening up chests again. So it like negates the whole point of the world tier system and the supposed extra drop rate chance you might get for legendaries. It just, you know, it's like they make you feel stupid for going through it. Now, grant you do eventually want to level up the world tier system because you get guaranteed drops of legendary weapons from accomplishing the world tier system, but you know, again, you want to wait till you get to your, you know, the highest level you can, essentially, to get the higher level drop. But it's only going to be relative to the world tier system. Bear in mind, as far as the level of the drop, but still, you level your character does bear with that point. So it's kind of a trip what they've sort of created in a way. You know, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot with, you know, how worthwhile it may or may not be to complete this game at a particular level of difficulty. I mean, they really don't make it worthwhile for a player to go through
I'm heading in. Tell me exactly
the extra endeavor. You know, it's weird. I don't get it personally. I really don't understand why they've kind of done things a certain way they have.
I hope. Hey, Outrider. Zahidi mentioned you've known Jakob since Earth. What was he like back then?
He was always rough, if that's what you're asking. Look, back on Earth, it was dark times. Turned us all cold, and now this place. To survive all that, only to end up somewhere worse, it's made him even worse.
Yeah, well, doesn't excuse the shit he's done.
Sure, but it maybe goes a way to explain things.
And like I said, we seem to do this side mission here because of just urgency, so we'll just keep it consistent.
You real?
This guy wants to help get revenge for his fallen comrades.
I'll repair the. Don't drag this out any
To
more than you
repair
have to.
this detonating
I want to give
thing.
those insurgents what's coming to them.
So, like I said, we'll truly preserve the memory of this on the individual playthroughs when we go through everything at World Tier 15. But for right now, we're just trying to get through it all. And like I said, for the sake of my role play, I'm trying to keep things consistent as far as what I did between the different characters. I'm not worried too much about the World Tier situation, but you know, because it's like I said, I'm just over it, man. They screwed the pooch into the corner and it's whimpering, bleeding, hurt, upset. Yeah, but you know, it's funny because I'm in this situation right now with this character, and you know, having World Tier 10 already at my disposal, having, you know, just 2 levels to go to level up my character, because it requires so much resources to level up your gear in relationship to the World Tier system and in your character level. I mean, you level up, and the difficulty of the enemies ramp up so much faster than you're able to acquire resources. It's ridiculous.
And are dragging the rest of us down with you.
Is this about Shanna? She's got reasons for her choice, Jacob. I think you just gotta live with it.
Yeah, I have a suspicion it won't be for long.
And you know, it's some kind of sycophant way, in my opinion, it's some kind of sadomasochistic way that the developers thought that they were going to inhibit people's progress by making the game way more difficult, way faster than necessary, so that people have either some unduly ridiculous challenge. I don't fucking understand the mentality behind it. Because like I said, if you play this out, you go through what we've all gone through, you'll realize how you can work around the circumstance and how it's like pointless to go through it. Like, what kind of testing did they even do with their own product? What kind of feedback was you know, biasly given to them to make them think that they were doing the right thing? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I honestly just don't get it. But it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. That's all I gotta say. Okay, where's the last enemy?
Zahidi, I've got all the lithium.
Excellent. Bring them on back and I can finish building the purifier.
Oh, I thought I was doing the mission for the dude. Fuck. Damn it. I must have not changed over the thing. My bad. Hang on. I thought we were doing this. Oh, shit. Whatever, dude. We'll work it out. He'll, you know, we'll work it out. Sorry, bro. Hold on just a little bit longer. Don't die. I'll be right back.
What were you mining for down here anyway?
Any metal resources we could find to support the colonization. And after that, the war effort. It was backbreaking, but we made it work. We were mining to keep our people alive. Corrigan's people protected us. It worked. Until these damn insurgents broke through.
That's good. Keep them talking. You don't want them to die or pass out. Hey man, do I want to look up here? I feel like I want to look up here. Okay, that's actually for the bounty later on. Okay. I want to get her done. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to actually get to a point where, you know, I've got my build worked out where I could actually go through all the missions at set tier 15 and expeditions as well. Challenge tier 15, whichever. I don't even know where people get this challenge tier shit from. I mean, the game says set tier. It doesn't say challenge tier. As far as I know, it doesn't say challenge tier. I've never seen it say challenge tier.
What exactly am I looking for here?
The spot where the line's been blasted apart. You gotta piece it back together again for it to work.
Yeah, I think this wood variant, we're going to let that idea go. I'm just not sure where or when I would put this into play. And it's taking up way more inventory space than I have at my disposal. Wait a minute, I did have an idea though. I don't know. Hang on for a minute. Let me not be too hasty with that. Said I might just level up something. Level them up a way to see which ones are going to be would be my preference and just have one set. Maybe I think I can have enough room in my inventory for that. I'll worry about that later. Figure it out later. Just hold on to it for a second while I still can. Unless we run out of space. Okay, can't jump over that.
I found the break in the line.
Can you fix it? I want to blow this place sky high.
Yeah, I can fix it. Hold off the fireworks till I'm back.
Yeah, in other words, don't blow me up.
Hey, the line looks good. Hey, you still there? I need to get back to him.
You came back. The line's replaced.
Didn't want you to miss the fireworks.
Thank God. Could you?
We'll do it together.
Music to my ear.
Very touching. Very touching.
Does Jakob always have to be so surly? He's putting a real negative energy over this expedition.
Look who's talking. Oh, was that it? Oh, I thought I needed to talk to him or some shit.
Just, I hope you won't be gone too long, Outrider. There was some roar.
Let me see something here. All right, let me take a quick second and run and do something real quick. I'm gonna put some journal entries up for the viewing entertainment. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, viewers. I apologize about the delay there. Let's see here. Where are we? We are going
That
to
Bailey, what a character, eh? Crazy, but still, she got us through that minefield. Woman of her word.
Yep.
Yakko, you came here under orders. You don't have to go any further.
Who's gonna keep this Dupek truck running, if not me?
Don't worry, I know a thing or two.
You remember nothing I taught you. What are you even going on the suicide mission for anyway?
Because I believe there's a better world out there somewhere.
Doesn't matter where we go. We'll still be there to fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, with that attitude.
Yeah, I couldn't remember whether or not I explored that dialogue option the first time around with the trickster. I think he was the first one to encounter.
Let's be honest. Anyone who follows me out there today is probably gonna die.
You picked a great time to show up.
Wow, we finally got these pistols. People have been talking about these pistols since the demo. First time I've got them. Judgment, Enforcer, shots mark enemies. Reload and deal 3 times your weapon damage to every marked enemy. Wow, no wonder people use them. That's a cool mod to have on any weapon. Refresh every second. Wow. Wow. Not that fond of the look of it. It is cool in and of itself, but the mod is super cool. Yeah, it's the first time I've gotten that. Yeah, a lot of people have theorized to different degrees what it's going to require to get certain legendary weapons, and I honestly feel it's a combination of several things. Number one, completing all the content, including at least completing all of the expeditions, as well as running all the characters, like unlocking all the characters and bring them all up to their particular tier. I have a sneaking suspicion that
Is that what your magic
a good percentage of it may be behind that aspect. I don't know. It's all theory, though. You know, I mean, it's
No, it's okay.
better than
Something
superstition.
happens.
Because, you know, there's been people who have
Who the hell are you?
unlocked pretty much 99% of everything or 100% of everything because they use some kind of hack to the game.
Who the hell are you people?
to increase the drop chance for legendaries, etc., etc. So, and they didn't switch characters. I don't know.
We're not making it to any doctor.
But I think if you would have normally played a game like I'm doing it,
People will die. You fucking die with them.
I don't know why I can't skip past
I'm not
this.
threatening them, asshole. I'm trying to save them.
What exactly is in this?
Please, do not fear. My name is Nathan Skurlock, xenobiologist.
Dr. Abraham Zahidi. Can you explain to us
Zahidi?
what...
Oh my, what an unexpected honor. I was a follower of your father's work. At least as long as was possible. I haven't so much claim to fame. As you can see, there is one breakthrough of mine that served us rather well.
Just tell us how it works.
Yes, of course. My apologies. The fungus wasn't always like this. Its DNA was altered. My formula merely turns the fungus against itself. Here, all who are brave enough to reach us are free to live in peace. An antidote must be injected daily. None of us dare stray far away from camp without it. We have a small ceremony each month. We're just in time for one. No altars, I'm afraid. I hope that the rest of your convoy will attend this evening.
We're not planning on staying long.
Oh, beyond here, there's only death.
Until the truck is repaired, we're stuck here anyway.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that point last time that they had to get this injection every day. That's crazy. Because, I mean, when you start to understand what goes into this formula to make it effective, that's kind of nuts. Okay. Enter the Enclave's main camp. I'm trying to remember, what did I put on this? Oh, clip roll. Snowclaw. Okay, let me put this legendary weapon in my stash. Just still paranoid about this inventory bullshit. But what's funny is those who had the inventory issue, man, get the benefit exponentially. I tell you, man. And they're like, well, you know, you may actually get, you know, devs are saying that you may actually get some kind of, you know, high god roll legendary weapon. Of course, it's not going to apply to all the epics people are getting with level 3 mods, but you might get a god roll legendary if you sold it to a vendor. The fuck out of here, dude. Who the fuck is selling legendary weapons to a vendor? They're breaking them down for the mods. Are you kidding me? Dude, it's just such, oh god, yeah, I just don't even want to think about it, man. It's just so discouraging, so discouraging what they did. And they did it to themselves, man. And basically want to blame us in one way or another, you know, or have us prove the point of why it's going on, you know, or why things aren't going on, or we, you know, we were being too demanding, or we're being too critical, or I mean, it's like, bro, this, you know. Oh, but we should praise them for being transparent. Dude, I honestly feel like that's like trying to praise somebody because they decide to go to work every day. Or they decide to show up for their job on time. Or they decide to pay their fucking bills. Well, they're paying their bills.
Hey, you.
They're going to work.
Over here.
Like, are you serious?
Everybody needs a little something, am I right? I'll give you a good deal.
I think... I can't remember how we dealt with this. I know last time we saved all the side missions for the end, so let's just do that again. I mean, you know, like I said, the game, I didn't, you know, I didn't really feel like that particular mission had a necessary sense of urgency per se, the way some of the other little side missions I might stop to do for a second. Like people are half dead, etc., etc. You know, somebody's got some bizarre distress call going on. So, we just gonna leave his ass till we come back. He'll be alright.
Hey,
He'll be alright.
do you remember my tunes I used to play?
Like it was yesterday.
I can still remember some of them.
Please stop, Jacob. I'm serious. Jacob, I'm disconnected. Wow, what the hell did that fungus do to you guys? That will make you even uglier.
Outrider, you wouldn't believe how much I've learned from Dr. Skurlock here.
Don't get distracted. That's not what we're here for.
But part of the reason we're here in the first place is to find a way out of the trenches for everyone. What if we brought the antidote back to Shira?
We'd also bring the summary execution of everyone who makes the antidote. They're deserters, remember?
Oh. Yes, I hadn't considered that.
Yeah, boy. Sometimes these intellectuals, sometimes they do not think past the circumstance of their wannabe their intentions. People get fucked up. Soak in the view.
Plan what we're gonna do about all these deserters?
We're not doing anything with them, Bailey.
Are you kidding me? These people abandoned the ECA. They're traitors.
We're sticking with the mission. You can go back to Corrigan empty-handed, or you can fall in line.
Traitors. Yeah, I mean, what's kind of pulling me forward is I'm curious as to how well this build's going to do in the multiplayer, not the multiplayer, but what's the word I'm looking for? Expeditions. There we go.
Outrider, this is Dr. Skurlock. I must profess it has been a delight to have met yourself and your companions.
We're grateful for the help, Doctor. But I have to ask, your antidote to the fungus, why do you keep it to yourselves out here? Our people are trapped in the valley. If they knew that...
Yes, if they knew. Think about it. What's the first thing they would do? They would be so afraid of the other side getting it, they'd have me locked up. War is all they know how to think about. Those narrow-minded, tribal idiots. Out here, it's different. We are all free. We don't live in fear of our neighbors slitting our throats. Men and women, allies and enemies. Here, nature, the elements, are our only enemy.
Sounds too good to be true.
Because it is.
We do what we can do. Resources are scarce. But you and your companions may stay as long as you need.
He full of shit. He's full of shite, and we will find out soon enough just how much full of shite he is. Full of shite.
Outrider, this is Kang Young Soo, the one who dragged your friends from the underworld. I will be handling your induction.
Induction? As I told Skurlock, we're just passing through.
Skurlock has no say in who stays or leaves. I'm in command of the camp security.
Sure, but this camp wouldn't exist without Skurlock and his vaccine.
And Skurlock wouldn't exist without my soldiers.
Can I do anything for you?
It pleases me that you won't be here long.
Trying to fuck with your bullshit, bro. We have your little motherfucking jungle kingdom. Talk about criticizing tribal motherfuckers. Y'all the ones looking like a bunch of half-baked savages.
Jacob?
What's it look like?
Exactly as we left it.
You have something in common, then. Get that oil pump, will you?
Okay, I've got the pump from the truck.
Good. Now, hurry back. This meathead Kang hasn't stopped giving me the side eye.
Is it the side eye or the stink eye? Or is it the side eye with the stink eye?
Screw till they push back, then loosen a little. Wait, you forget everything I taught you.
Taught me? You think you taught me anything, old man?
Such an ornery little chick. She's just ornery. Don't like authority.
Hey, Jacob. That was a sweet story back there, but it still doesn't explain why Channa hates your guts.
Why do you think? I didn't ask to be a father in a shithole like this. You know what the survival rate is for kids? But turned out I was wrong. Little girl managed to grow up after all.
Who knows? Maybe you did her a favor. If you hadn't been such a bastard, she wouldn't have gotten tough enough to survive.
Yeah? You go and tell her that. She'll love you for it.
Jenna, Jakob told me what happened between you.
Huh. Did he tell you how my mother died?
I'm sorry. No kid should have to see that.
Even better. I saw it twice. The first time in a vision. You know, I tracked down Jakob. Begged him to come back. 'Cause he wasn't there in the vision when she died. I thought, if he was there, maybe it wouldn't come true. But Jakob doesn't listen to anything I say.
You hear Chang almost got eaten in the forest yesterday? This morning, he really did.
Outrider, if I may, as an altered, you are not allowed to join our ceremony due to scientific complexity. But rest assured, your presence in our humble camp is appreciated. I personally oversaw preparation of your private hut. There's a place to rest, food, even a bottle of something special. You'll find it by the stairs to the ceremony tent.
My hut. In the middle of the village. My hut. Come on to my hut.
See you,
Zahidi, where are you? Zahidi, do you copy?
Zahidi's missing.
Skurlock makes his antidote here. Very few know what goes on inside.
And how do you?
I used to help him make it. Until he took a friend of mine prisoner. Skurlock has his laboratory here. But it's Kang and his soldiers who run this stronghold. They will not welcome you kindly.
Just tell me what they want with Zahidi.
Nothing good. You need to hurry before it's too late.
Sound the alarm! We're under attack!
It's the Altered! Don't let them reach Skurlock! Shield Skurlock! We have to protect the antidote!
Please, Outrider, turn back. I promise you, all things have been considered and weighed for the benefit of all. I have created a place of peace and equality, where only you must die so many can live. How many of our people will you kill to save your one man?
Oh, I'm gonna kill them all, bro. Isn't that what it's about? Isn't that kind of butchery that we have going on here? Kind of anti-hero he is. We gonna kill them all, homeboy. All your friends. All your people will die.
Tiago, where's Skurlock's lab?
Look for the stairs leading up to Skurlock's hut. He'll be holding your friend there.
people. That's what they injected us with.
It's not Soylent
We
Green.
needed bone marrow for the antidote to work. All those people who escaped the war came here to die instead.
Alien friend just disappeared.
August does not disappear, so much as move in ways we cannot perceive. We need to get out of here. I know a back exit through the caves that can lead us out to safety.
Get Zahedi out safe. I'm going back out the front door to deal with Kang's new arrivals.
Yeah, I forget. I think it's a bounty is when you actually get that piece of journal entry over there.
Jakob, I got Zahedi out. He's on his way to you.
I should have left your companions to rot in their bile. Sherlock wanted them saved. And look where it got them. I won't be making the same mistake. I will hunt you down and take back the natives you stole. That's a promise. And Kang keeps his word.
Good! I won't have to worry about chasing after you.
Outrider, we made it out to the convoy. Your new friend knows this area very well. I think he can be trusted.
We are ready to go. Or should we see if anyone else out there wants to kidnap Zahedi first?
Funny. I'm on my way. Move out. Right.
If there are more natives out there, maybe they could help us. They've survived all this time on Enoch. They have to know ways to lift the anomaly.